Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll do the full review for this OnePlus 9R. And guys, I took my time for reviewing this device. If you recall, I posted the unboxing video on 16th April, but I wanted to wait and see after major OTA updates how's the performance of this smartphone. And now it has got a lot of updates, so we can expect that the performance of the smartphone will be like this. And I have to say, it's a very practical smartphone, and I was not annoyed when I was using this smartphone. I generally say that in my review process, when I always felt like removing the SIM card, then it's not a good phone. That was not the case with this one. It's overall a very practical smartphone, but it does have some major flaws that I would say. And I would certainly say camera, the rear facing camera is the weakest on this smartphone in this price range. But if you want to know the nitty gritties, watch this video. I'll divide it between the pros and cons, and again watch the unboxing video for the general overview. I'll leave the link in the description. And guys, this is a retail unit, not a review unit or whatever. So this is the one that you would get when you purchase it. And I've got some major OTA updates, and I feel the OTA updates have solved some of the issues earlier. For example, earlier many people said that it was heating quite a bit. That has reduced, and camera performance slightly has improved, but not by a huge margin. So the first thing that I liked about this smartphone is the build quality, guys. Here I would say I'll give full marks to OnePlus. There's nothing creaking or anything. It feels like a solid flagship smartphone. So in terms of build quality, they have done a good job. Buttons don't wobble and anything like that. So that way I would say in terms of build quality, they have done a good job. Another thing that I like is that this is that black color, and this one does resist the fingerprints a little bit. You can see a little bit if I move around, but majorly I would say it resists the fingerprints. So I used it without the case, so you can get away. It is not as fingerprint resistant as the OnePlus 9 Pro, but not bad, I would say. Next thing is regarding the screen. This is having that 6.5-inch Super AMOLED screen that's a full HD, and this is at 120 Hertz, guys. If you go to the display options here, and I did all my testing always with this 120 Hertz option on this smartphone. I never put it on 60 Hertz, so it was always on this 120 Hertz. And I have to say the screen quality is good. It's not outstanding, but it's a good screen that in my past 2 weeks of daily usage, both my SIMs are in this one, as you can see, I did not have a problem with the screen. The only nitpicking that I have with the screen on this one is that outdoor conditions in direct sunlight, it is not as bright as some of the other smartphones in this price range. That's the only nitpicking that I had. Next thing is regarding the always on. It's an AMOLED screen, and now OnePlus is giving this always on thing, and this always on actually works, as you can see, and it has this in-display fingerprint scanner, and the in-display fingerprint scanner works most of the time, I would say, but I noticed that it is not as responsive as some of the earlier OnePlus smartphones. Sometimes I have to do it twice. That is maybe once out of 10 times. One time I have to do it twice, but nevertheless it's a good fingerprint scanner, but slightly slower than compared to some of the other OnePlus smartphones that I have reviewed earlier. The next thing is regarding the Oxygen OS. Again, I have to say, and here I will give full marks to OnePlus, guys. OnePlus Oxygen OS is one of the rare UIs on Android which is not having any ads or nagware. We got those two big OTA updates also. No adware or nagware that I have seen on this smartphone. Again, still very clean. They have changed the layout a little bit compared to stock Android, but still I would say very fluid in operations, had no issues. Even RAM management was very good. So again, the core of OnePlus, that is Oxygen OS, is still intact on this one, and I have to give full marks to OnePlus, because these days even Samsung in this price range is adding a lot of bloatware in that smartphone. So in that respect, I would say it's a very clean UI. Apart from OnePlus, I would say if you want a clean UI, then you only have Motorola and Nokia smartphones in terms of Android ecosystem. Next thing I like is the alert slider is a nice addition, and I got used to this. You can easily just move it here and you can move between silent, and I wish other smartphones also had it. Started appreciating this one, I would say. Also in terms of haptics, that's the vibration motor. I would say the vibration motor calibration has been done very well on this smartphone. I wouldn't say it's like a flagship, but very well done, I would say, the haptic motors. Next thing is regarding the battery. It has that 4500 milliamp hour battery, and as I've told you guys, I was always using it on that 120 hertz with this always on screen, and I have to say the battery life that I was getting was very good. Let me actually show you the screenshot. These are some of the updates that I got, 2 updates. Let me show you the battery stats, and it was at 12%, and if you notice, 32 hours away from the charger, that means about 1.5 days, and had a screen on time of 4 hours 56 minutes. That's almost 5 hours. And this is the usage that you can see. Screen took 42%. Voice calls, I didn't make a lot of voice calls, 1 hour 9 minutes. One more battery starts, and in 20 hours about 5.5 hours, 26% left. So easily, as you can see, you can get a battery life easily for a full typical day worth of usage. And guys, I was using it with this always on. If you disable this, maybe you will get even better. And again, if you even go to 60 hertz, it will be better. But typical full day's usage, guys, I never had a problem in terms of battery life. So that was a good surprise to me. That was not the case with the OnePlus 9 Pro. But this one, for a typical full day, I did not have any issues. It's not a 2-day battery life, I would be very clear about, but single day, if you charge it every day at night, it'll be more than enough. The next thing is regarding the camera. I'll talk about the front facing camera. It's this punch hole camera that we have over here, and here are some of the samples. It's a 16 megapixel camera, and I would say the front facing camera performance is actually pretty good, and even in the portrait mode it does a pretty good job. It doesn't make you look very artificial, but yes, again, in dull lighting it struggles quite a bit. So guys, these were some of the things that I actually liked with this smartphone. And also in terms of in-hand feel, I completely forgot. It's a good in-hand feel that it gives, and it's a balanced phone. It's neither too light nor heavy. So in terms of in-hand feel, I like it. Now let's move to the cons. And the first con that I have is that you have that quad camera setup. But I have to say, this is one of the most rubbish cameras that I've seen in this price range. Don't get me wrong, outdoor snaps when there is a lot of lighting, as you can see with the sample shots, actually come out good. But even in good lighting like this, the portrait mode sucks. And guys, this is after all the OTA updates. So I don't like the portrait mode. It's not done well. And now if you move to dull lighting conditions, slightly not ideal lighting conditions, I feel the camera performance falls apart. It has to be one of the weakest, I would say, in this price range. In fact, as you can see, I've compared it with some of the other smartphones that are quite a bit lower than this one. Then also, I feel the camera performance was simply not that good. In fact, I had made a comparison video with the iQOO 7 versus this one, that is almost 10,000 less, and the camera on the iQOO 7 was just far better compared to this one. So I would say the camera is okay. It doesn't impact me because I don't take photographs too much. But if you are a person who likes to take a lot of photographs, specifically with the rear facing camera, then you will not be happy with this smartphone. That's the blunt truth. It's a very average camera. It's not horrible, but it's a very average camera for the price. The next thing is regarding 5G. Again, OnePlus claims this is a 5G smartphone, but guys, it has just one band of 5G. So if you're specifically getting this smartphone thinking that it'll be 5G ready, it is 5G ready technically, but again, as it just has one band of 5G, don't get this smartphone specifically for 5G. I would say they should have given at least 5, 6 or 7 bands of 5G considering the price point, but it just has one band of 5G. So 5G, I'm not happy what OnePlus is doing with the same. The next thing is regarding the max brightness. As I've told you, indoors it's perfectly fine, but outdoors, even in auto, I kept it on full brightness. It's not that bright. It's not like it's not legible, but I wished it was brighter. I guess that's the difference between the Pro. The Pro is a lot better in outdoor conditions. The next thing is regarding the speakers, guys. First, let's talk about the good things. The speakers are actually pretty loud on this smartphone. If I go to one of my own videos, let's just increase the volume. Let's just play this. Hi guys, this is Ranjit. As you can see, it's loud. As you can see, I have the new Realme. Let me increase the volume to max. Actually launched two 4K televisions, the 43-inch. As you can see, it was at max, and it's actually much louder than what I expected, I would say. But the thing is that if you keep the volume above 75%, the back slightly vibrates. This is something that I have noticed, but I feel even around that 75% volume levels, the volume level is pretty high. But yeah, around max volume above 75-80, the back tends to vibrate a little bit. Just want to be very clear with you guys. The next thing is regarding the pricing. Overall, as I've told you, I'm liking the phone. It's a very practical smartphone, and it was not like in the past 2 weeks of usage I felt like removing my SIM, because daily usage, it was a very good experience. Okay, I completely forgot about the call quality and the reception. And here I would say the call quality and the reception was very good on this smartphone. Even Wi-Fi calling works very well on this one, and I did not have any issues with that. So in terms of cell reception, the actual earpiece is also very loud and clear. So in terms of those areas, OnePlus has nailed it. For example, that was always a problem with the Mi 11X for me. And also in terms of proximity sensor, this is something that I noticed. The proximity sensor is pretty good on this smartphone, I would say, but it's not perfect. For example, out of 10 calls, in one of the calls, sometimes the screen used to light up and it was going to the mute. This is not happening all the time, just about 10% of the time. Compared to the Mi 11X, which was just horrible, it was happening almost on every other call. So that way, yes, the proximity sensor can be calibrated slightly better, but in terms of call quality, it was a good. So overall, I would say it's a good smartphone if you are okay with that OnePlus branding. The big strength, I would say, for this smartphone, personally for me, was the build quality. The build quality is good. Oxygen OS, clean UI, no ads. But in terms of camera, specifically the rear-facing camera, it is actually pretty weak. And that 5G band of just one 5G band is a joke. So I feel for the current price, at 40,000, OnePlus is certainly charging quite a bit of a premium. I feel the fair pricing of this smartphone should have been anywhere around 34 to 35,000, because you do have some of the alternatives right now with almost the same specs, Snapdragon 870, that is the iQOO, iQOO 7, or even the Mi 11X at about 29,000. So I feel the fair price of this one should have been about 35,000, but they are charging 40,000. So again, beware of that. It's not a bad phone, but I feel it's slightly overpriced for what it's offering, and the camera performance is rear-facing specifically is not that great. So guys, this was my review of this OnePlus 9R. If you're buying this smartphone, buy it from my link. I'll leave in the description. It does help the channel. Anyways guys, that's it for now for this video. If you guys are still not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care guys.